Do you stress over scrap paper? Instead, how about we de-stress our scrap paper and de-stress ourselves? In this video, we are going to de-stress or age scrap paper to use on paper crafting, crafty projects. Are you ready? I want to invite you in. I'm Dawn, creator of DD Creates Crafts, and this is the channel for simple cards and helpful hints and duplicatable projects you'll be able to make just from watching one of my videos. I invite you in. We're going to learn 3 techniques today, so be sure you see all 3 techniques. I'm going to turn the camera down now and we will get started. All right, make sure I got you semi-quasi straight, huh? What you see before you is some scrap paper, and the name of this paper is actually called Rings of Love. It's 12 by 12 and it's free. You may not order it, you may not buy it. You can only get it for free during our celebration. So look how pretty all this paper is, and this is what I'm going to be using for today's video. And it goes through all the different seasons. So here's one for fall, but we're going to use this side that looks more summery to me. So just know it's called Rings of Love, and that's what the paper is we're going to be working with. This first card, I did do some de-stressing, and I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I used on this particular piece of scrap. What I'm going to do for your card today, let me get our main pieces. Let's start with step 1, which is to cut our base. What you're going to need is 2 pieces of colored cardstock that look pretty together, or they're your favorite colors, and then we're going to need some white, just solid white cardstock. All right, so your first piece, what I'm going to call the base. This is more like a postcard. There's no fold, and you're going to cut it at 5.5 by 4 1/4. Your regular, in the US, A2 size card, but it's just one little baby piece. Your second piece, which is also step 1, is to cut the second color cardstock at 9 3/4 by 3 5/8. 3 5/8. So that is the line in between the half mark and the 3/4 mark. If you need a little help, I've got a free ruler for you. Go to my Stampin' Up website, dawndavis1.stampinup.net, and go to the, I think it's projects section, and then scroll down till you see the pictures of the ruler, and you can print that right from that website. But that's my personal cheat sheet. It stays on my craft table the whole time. And this second color, we are going to score at 4 7/8. So 7/8 is actually between the 3/4 and the new 1-inch number. So that's going to fold, actually it's in half if you don't want to worry about the measuring. And then step 1 again is your white cardstock, and we are going to cut this at 7.5 by 3.5. And then we're going to score it at 2 3/4. And see how it folds up? So it only folds up about, well, almost 3/4 of the way. So now we're going to grab us some of our scrap paper, and we're going to cut the scrap paper and get ready for step 2. Before we start step 2, I want to share with you the reason I started DD Creates Crafts channel is to introduce you to me, introduce you to Stampin' Up! Products, and then 3, show you how to use the products with samples of simple cards and crafty paper projects. Ordering products through me also helps support this channel, and I will always tell you when there's a sale like this paper that I'm using that you can get for free. It's called Celebration, and the entire catalog is free stuff. You get to choose with an order of 50 or more when you order with me, and I'm going to throw in some freebies for you too. All right, step 2 is to cut the designer series paper at 4 inches by 3 inches. 4 inches by 3 inches. This actually, I always tell you, it's going to go onto the main base, and it'll go under our second color. All right. So then the next piece of scrap paper, we're going to cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And this is for what I'm going to call the front flap of our second color cardstock. And then the third piece of scrap I want you to cut is going to be 3 3/8. That's between the 1/4 and the 1/2. Flip it to the other direction and it's going to be a 2 1/2. This is for the inside piece of your white, which is actually going to form a pocket. This card we're going to make is for gift cards to stick some cash into it, but this will also go inside the pale papaya to create that pocket. If you're having some fun already, or if you've learned something, go ahead and go boop and hit the like button. Show me some love, and it also helps YouTube know you like the video and it shares it with more people. So let's get ready for step 3. What I'm going to do, I showed you where all our scraps print paper goes, but now we're going to get on to our 3 techniques. Now, to de-stress our scraps, there's 3 methods that I'm going to show you today. One is we're just going to wrinkle up some paper. 2, I'm going to show you 2 methods for using ink. And 3 is how to rough up the edges just using your scissors. No special tool needed. And then how to adhere all this down. So let's start with, I might want to do all 3, and I think I do. This first one, I'm going to do that. This first one, let's go ahead and let's show how we're going to use the ink. So what I thought I'd do is we can do 2 methods. This top method, this is the one that goes underneath. I actually am going to just go along the edges. So you could do it straight on so it only gives a line, or you could bend your stamp pad a little bit so it gets a little messy, which I like because I think that enhances the old effect. Vintage? Vintage sounds better than old, so y'all can refer to me as vintage and not old. How about that? I am vintage. And I like this paper. It already looks like it's got some of the coloring to it, don't you think? So let's put that aside. And I did use the matching pale papaya that matches my cardstock, but we could, let me get the scrap in here to show you. If you prefer, you could use the other color, which is in the cardstock. Is come in with some of the green and use that as well, or instead of actually. So you can see, you can use a couple different colors and see how you like it. I actually think I'm liking the green better. I hate to tell you that. Let me see if I can add some to this. I'm gonna live dangerously right now. All right, I'm not minding it. I actually like the green better than the orange, which is why I'm doing this. You do not need to use the 2 colors. Just come in with your 1 color. I just wanted to show you, you could choose your colors. So let's go ahead. This one, let's do something a little different. I'm actually gonna come in with my blending brush. It looks all stained and dirty, but you don't have to use separate brushes to use the same brush. I mean, I just do this to clean it off. So long story short, let's go ahead. Let me grab some scrap paper on top of my scrap paper. So this is your second technique, well, part of your second one, where I'm gonna come in with the blending tool, hold my scrap paper down, start off the edge, and blend into the paper. Because if not, you get a blob you're not gonna love. So this gives a different look than the straight edge. So 2 different methods for using your ink to get an older vintage feel with your scrap paper. So I'll put that aside. So now we've got a couple different methods with that. Let me take, I think I'm gonna actually let me do this side as well. I think I'm just gonna use the edging for the top. When you use edging, I made that name up. When you just edge your scrap paper, your layers with the cardstock, with the ink, it actually adds a little bitty dimension and depth to it because it's such light edges, and look how it just darkens it up and frames it. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm gonna do that to that one. And then let's go with our second technique. So the second technique is actually to wrinkle it. So let's make a hot mess. Pretend we're about to throw it across the room and try to aim and hit the trash can. But we're not gonna do that. So I've got it nice and mushed and nice and wrinkled. I'm gonna open it back up. And that is your second technique for aging a piece of your scrap paper that we're now using for decorative layers for our card. So I like that. I like that. Now I'd like to show you your third method, which is just to use some scissors. And what you're gonna do is really rough up the edges. And look, I ripped it, but I actually like that, so I'm gonna leave it, obviously. And then once it's roughed up with your scissors, go ahead and bend it towards you. Really age it, make it look like not real good. So this one is going on the insides. Oh, I ripped it again, but I like it. So you can be gentler, you can be rougher, depending how distressed you want your scrap paper that we've now turned into a decorative layer. So this piece is actually gonna go on the inside decorated part onto the white pocket. So this one I would like to, it's got two of the techniques. I'm gonna rough it up a little bit. I'm gonna rough up all the pieces, you guys. I'll just tell you that right now. Because I wrinkled it, the roughing up, there we go. Depending where you put your fingers to pinch it, hold it, also affects the amount of the aging that you're doing with your scissors. I saw online there are tools that do this, but why would we spend money on an additional tool when your scissors will do the exact same thing? And if you don't want to use the scissors, or if you have younger people in the house that are crafting with you, get like a plastic serrated butter knife, and a younger person could use that. Now that's looking really old between the wrinkling and the ink, and then the stressing, the ripping with our, all right, this is gonna go on the underneath. I gotta see if I want the top. I think I do. So I'm gonna go, let me rough this up and then wrinkle it. Let's see which works better. I think I get more of, we'll see, I might add more of a roughed up, wrinkly edge when I wrinkle it first. Do not fuss at yourself if you rip the paper. That's just gonna make it look great, in my humble opinion. All right, so look at all my little scrappies. So now we're gonna wrinkle it. So now you've learned all three techniques. So we're gonna assemble our card so you can see how to make a pocket on the inside for a gift card or some cash, if you will. I'm feeling the need to add a little green to that. What do you guys think? I don't know why, but I do. I'm just gonna add a little bitty bit. Just a little bit. I'm not going to put a lot because I like the peachiness that's showing through, but I wanted a little more of the green for my layer. All right, let's bring all the moving pieces back. Let's talk before I assemble it. This was step 3, was to de-stress your scraps that we're using for decorative layers. And let's talk about different ways you could use these, you guys. Once you have these, you can use them as backgrounds for your scrapbook pages. You can have vintage and shabby chic card bases with this. You could wrap it around a mini album cover and make one or create one, or just have it on a regular one. You can use it as a mat for heritage photos, and you can collage papers for art journaling, or you've seen me do it before in the, go under the scrap paper playlist, and there's one where I just show you how to randomly put the paper all over like this, creating a collage of your scraps to make a base layer. How about gift tags, or even tags that we use for decorations and DIY embellishments like flowers or punch shapes? Those would also look awesome on the de-stress paper. So now I promised you step 4. We are going to stamp a sentiment or an embellishment to add to the front card. I think I will do that actually before. Oh, you know what? I've already done it. I am so happy with myself. I thought I'd forgotten to do it. Let me pull out some more moving parts. There I go. This is from the punch. Let me get all my decorations. I thought I had it ready for you. This is from the set called Sending Smiles. It's a die and stamp set. So you'll see I've used the stamp set and the die to make our sentiment for the card. This was all from the stamp set right there. Die set. And then these are from the dies as well. So very, very, very nice. These flowers make beautiful flowers. So I wanted to show you all at once the set that I chose for us for this particular card. And you will see this again for my September card class. You will see this again. So I always like to share with you ideas to use something multiple. So you can have a product, but see me use it a lot of times so that you'll feel like, hey, I got this new product and I now have more than one way to use it. And ideally, I want you to only get products you can use at least 5 times. So I want you to live it that much. And also I want to teach you how to do that. Like last week you saw my ladybug and medium daisy punches on a card I demoed for you. And you've seen those come out before. It's about the second, maybe even third time I've used them in a demo. So I do that intentionally. 1, because I like them, but 2, it shows you more how to use it. So this, let's get our other piece, decorative piece. It's going to go towards the bottom part of your, what I'm calling the base card. Da, da, da. Make sure, not globs of glue, but make sure you have enough glue to hold your layers down. Because they're wrinkled, it's almost like an embossed piece of cardstock where it tends to, because there's nooks and crannies, tends to stand up and maybe not glue flat as we like it. So just make sure you've got enough glue. And now, this is still part of step 4. We're going to adhere it, and this will get adhered down in the center. So on the base of your second color cardstock, the solid color, we've already decorated it. We've already learned our 3 techniques. I am going to center it on the card. Let me open that so I can make sure I am getting it pressed down. If you're worried at all about the glue not being sticky enough for you, then I do recommend go ahead and use some tear and tape, just something a little stronger. And then I am going to use tear and tape to create the pocket for our gift card. I really like these to be strong. I like to feel confident they're nice and strong and they're going to stay put and not pull apart when somebody's pulling the gift card out. Because I don't know about you, but I get pretty excited if I see a gift card. Do y'all like gift cards or cash, or is it the same thing to you? Tell me in the comment section. Gift card, cash, or same difference? Tell me in the comment section. We'll just make each other laugh. All right, so now we've created the pocket for the gift card. So let's go ahead and we're gonna add the decoration that we've already created. How do you like this? It's simple, yet it's different, don't you think? I liked this little card design. And I don't know if it's too late for graduation type cards, or I know my niece went back to college yesterday, so sometimes even not a graduate, but you just want to sneak somebody some cash, you know. Be nice to put it in a little gift card folder. So this one will go on the inside of this. So that's flat except for our pocket. So I'm going to adhere that flat and centered. Tell me what you think of this design too in the comments section. What do you think of this card layout? I really like it. And you know, of course, you can make this card layout without de-stressing the scrap paper that we're using for decoration. You can totally do this for just some pretty paper, but I wanted to really go all vintage out and just make it really different. Yep. It'll probably have to stand up vertically, but it'll still work and still be so pretty. So now let's add some decorations to it. And these can be flat, they could be elevated with our dimensionals. We might need, is this them? Those look like big guys. See if I can have my little ones. I like the little dimensionals. I'm only seeing my big ones, so what I'm gonna do is cut them up. I love using both, but let's cut some of these up so that they will absolutely fit. And then these are like the borders or the edges, and guess what? We're gonna use these too. We use everything. Which you really, again, you feel like, oh, I'm using everything. I'm getting a good bang for my buck here. Make sure it's not too big and not gonna show. I think I'll just cut some little edges off because I want some skinny guys. Come on. For the letters. Let's see if that'll go right there. I don't feel like I'm putting too much. I really like it elevated, don't you guys? All right, let's put one more on the side. And right now I give anything to know where my mini glue dots are. Okay, so that's covered enough, and I'll pull those off and stand that up. And I do want to elevate that as well. So let's put 3 of the larger, 3 halves of the larger dimensionals. Did I cut you? Yes, I did. Awesome. So let's peel off the cellophane, decide where we want everything. There we go. I'm gonna put the sending a little crooked so it fits nice. And then this is birthday wishes, so I'm going to put that towards, let me see how far out I want those guys to hang. Yeah, I'm going to put it further up. Put that a little further up because I die cut some of the branches. What I thought I'd do, is that match? Yeah. I'm going to use both these and put it a little apart. So stick it together, but I did want both colors to show. So it's going to be a little layering or framing effect for the branches. And these branches are also from the Sending Smiles. So we'll tuck that under there. Do the same with this, tuck that under. I didn't pre-glue them. You know how I like to do some prep work and save you and me some time, but I wasn't sure I was going to use one or the other, and then I went ahead and used both. So let's see if we want that. I want to tuck it under my birthday wishes, so I'm going to take the stem off so it'll fit nice. I know, I think I like the darker one better. Do you guys do that too? That's how when I create cards to demo for you, sometimes I start to make something and then I change my mind. I'm like, no, I don't like that after all. And that's what just happened right now. I feel like this direction, it's too light and not enough contrast with my label. And the label is also a part of the Sending Smiles. You get a lot of little moving parts with that bundle, and that you get, let me look it up for you, 14 dies and 22 stamps, and the bundle's $49.50. So that puts you so close to the freebie paper with the celebration sale. And we can either add some matching ribbon, we could use some twine, but I think I would like a little bow. Or I wonder if I should just do like a little, I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of ribbon. I laugh at myself, I get so quiet when I concentrate. Let me see if I saved enough space to slide it under there, which means I should have done it before I put the sentiment down. Do you guys like that? I'm kind of liking it. Let's see if we can crisscross. I think that looks too much. All right, I'm gonna do it more like that. So let's go ahead and put a little baby glue dot on the bottom of our ribbon here. There we go, to hold it into space, hold it in place. That is it in a nutshell. Let me see if I put some bling out. I did. Here we go. Let's add a little bit of bling. I think I'd like tiny, big, who knows, we'll experiment. These are matte, but they're faceted, so I'm like, they're kind of cool. They kind of serve both, you know what I mean? Yeah, let me put it there. Now, what do you think of your card where we open it like this, and that's where we tuck our gift card, right there. Now for more videos just like this one, all you have to do is subscribe, because I want you to find me again and come back often. And I've got playlists where you can literally detail down to what kind of cards you want to learn how to make, and it's right there for you. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow with another video. So there's that. And this is another vintage one I had roughed up, and that has the Rings of Love. This is a hybrid embossing folder that comes with a die cut. So I thought that was pretty cool. So there's your two cards. And I'm gonna turn the camera up now so we can say goodbye. And what did you think? What did you think of this card? Here is the set, the Sending Smiles. And then also remember the celebration. With an order of 50 or more, you get to pick anything free out of this catalog. Not anything. Some of the items, level 2 items are an order of 100. And then there's level 1 items for 50. And if you order 100, you could get 2 of the 50 level 1, or 1 of the level 2. But celebration. And all your orders support my channel. Plus, I give you freebies. Let me look, I just had them here. Oh my goodness, I was going to show you here they are. Oh my goodness. This is what we're going to use for the August card class. When you order 30 or more, you get my August card class, the butterflies. And when you order 50 or more, you get the card class plus a package of bling. Order 100, you get the card class, the bling, and ribbon. And I'm talking full-size packages. So I'm just going to reward you and love on you and send you free stuff as a thank you for supporting me with your orders. Remember the 3 things. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like this video. And remember, most importantly, come back real soon and come back often. Thanks, you guys.